Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
This hour is sponsored by Better. Better Picks, a daily fantasy sports app where your sports knowledge turns into real cash fast. Download Better or visit better.app now. Sign up today, get a free $10. No deposit necessary. Download Better now, BETR.
How about this? Phil Hellmuth in studio coming up in 30 minutes. Their podcast, Fade Us Sports, now under the VSiN umbrella. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts.
If it wasn't for luck, I'd win them all. It's got some great quotes.
17 WSOP bracelets, right?
Yep.
Most ever?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And your guy from Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah, great town.
Great
town. He and I are probably going to get along like long lost cousins.
Sure.
When he comes in studio in 30 minutes. Okay, so week one, tricky handicap in the NFL. They all are, but week one, because what do we really know about these teams, right? How much is similar from last year's versions? Do they have new pieces? Do they have new coaches potentially? Did they play in the preseason, if that matters whatsoever? Well, for one of the teams, Pauly, certainly there's been a lot of turnover here. The new coaching staff comes in. Is it an upgrade? I'm going to say probably not.
Right.
Jerry Jones, in theory, could have whomever he ever wanted to coach the Dallas Cowboys. It's not the way he wants to run his business or run his team. So Brian Schottenheimer is a new head coach. Eberflus, good defensive coordinator, horrible head coach.
Right.
But then, of course, last week...
That's an upgrade, big time. I called that last year. Zimmer was checked out.
Oh, yeah, okay. Totally fair.
Right, yeah. But definitely, yes, I'm not a McCarthy fan, but that's a downgrade.
Would you rather have Zimmer with Micah Parsons or Eberflus without Micah Parsons?
Yeah, right. That's another thing. Well, we can't stop the run. That's how they're selling it. But you were horrible last year, and now you trade a top three, maybe the best defensive player in the league, and you get rid of him now. So it could be bad. It could be, everyone loves the under, and certainly last place. That's even on the table here. They're only a 3-point favorite next week against the Giants, and like Lou Finocchiaro said, take a little slice of worst record in football.
Yeah.
So this could be bad, and I don't see any way that they're going to get a running game going. And I just think it's all going to be through the air and try to get these wide receivers involved, which could be tough to do against Philly, but maybe it comes in garbage time.
I think there's an angle here where Schottenheimer doesn't realize that the running game isn't working, and he sticks with it far too long, and then he decides to open it up a little bit. Because that's, again, been his MO as a coordinator over the years, and I think that's probably going to be the game plan tonight. And I would not be surprised if that happens. And when you're watching the game tonight, even if it's not working, they're still going to try to run the football. Under that scenario, you're just going to be throwing stuff at the TV. What are you doing with the play calls, man? This Philadelphia defense and your offense with that line, the writing's on the wall here. The game plan should have been attacking him through the air. Eagles have to know that as well.
I'm a big fan of Carter. Just a game wrecker. And coming up with big sacks
Certainly
at key times, and what he did in the win against the Rams. Yeah.
Now, and I also, here's another thing too with week one. With divisional games, what does last year really mean? You got to take those two games and throw them in the garbage. They were both blowouts, but Dak didn't play in either one of them. Now, Philadelphia was so good, they may have blown them out anyway, and the Cowboys also got blown out a handful of times when Dak played. Remember the Lions game? What was it, 47-9 in Dallas?
Yes.
How about the Saints game, week 2? 44-19?
Yep.
They got absolutely trucked in those games.
Yeah, they were giving up a ton of points on defense. And then wasn't it 24-0 Ravens in that game too? They hung on,
but they came
Dallas
back.
had to come all the way back, I know. But Baltimore was blowing them out. So you're going to, as Sal Pal said with us, the rumble in the concrete jungle, and they've won 10 in a row at home. They'll be all over those. They hate the Cowboys. And I think it was a minor miracle. It just shows how good he is that Lamb was able to put up 1,200 yards last year with Dak missing much of the time.
Yeah, I'm all about that guy this year.
Yep.
I mean, again, based on what they have entering the season, with no Micah Parsons now, a weaker offensive line, bad running backs. Some have said, in fact, many have ranked them the worst running backs in the entire league. The thought there is that Dak's going to just have a huge year if he stays healthy the whole time. And then who's going to be the number one beneficiary? It's going to be CeeDee Lamb, who is arguably the most talented receiver in football anyway.
It's hard to see a scenario where Dallas can slow him down. Maybe Philly's rusty, turnovers, week one, whatever, but how they close the season. You scored 28 points and got Barkley going early against that great Rams defense, a 50-burger in the NFC title game, and then 40 against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and they took it easy on them after they were up the 30-plus points. So it's just like Chart said, there's so many great weapons. And so you don't, here's Goddard, the 10 yards. That play they run to Goddard's unstoppable. We just go shotgun, put it in Barkley's belly, keep it, roll him out, and then bam, there's 8 yards every single time. And then Brown's a beast, Smith's so good. And the rushing attack and a great offensive line, your quarterback had 15 rushing touchdowns, please.
Yeah, A.J. Brown in the first game last year had 5 for 109. Didn't do much in game 2. I think he scored, but he didn't have a lot of yards. In that second game, Devontae Smith was the Cowboy killer. 6 for 120 and 2 touchdowns. Again, Dak didn't play in either game. And then when it comes to like betting anytime touchdowns or like specifically the first touchdown of the game, teams do have tendencies. And I don't like betting on, players who are like 5-1 or 6-1 to score the first touchdown of the game. Those are going to be, just such short shots. That's like betting, to me, Ohtani to hit a home run at plus 150. However, the Eagles with this tush push, and no doubt in my mind they're going to run it back again tonight and try to do it at least a couple of times if they're in position to do so. But when they get close to the goal line, this is even with Saquon Barkley last year. Like Jalen Hurts picked off and vultured a lot of touchdowns at the goal line. He scored the team's first touchdown 6 times last year, as did Barkley. But Hurts ran 14 touchdowns in last year. He actually had more rushing touchdowns than Barkley did.
Yeah.
And Barkley won Offensive Player of the Year. And if you go back and look, that wasn't just like a last year thing. In 2023, Philadelphia scored the first touchdown 10 out of 18 games. Hurts did it 6 times. And then in 2022, remember they played in the Super Bowl that year and lost to the Chiefs. He scored the game's first touchdown 7 times in 2022. So that's 19 times last 3 years Hurts been first player in to hit pay dirt. He's plus 285 to score the Eagles' first touchdown tonight.
Yeah.
That's almost like Kyren Williams last year with the Rams.
Right, yeah.
Like every week, who's going to score the first Rams touchdown? Kyren Williams, man, that's the answer. And you kind of like knew the result before the game was played because it happened every single time. But so that's why in Philadelphia games, it's like, is it going to be A.J. Brown, Goddard, Smith? To me, not going to bet them. And maybe you can make a case there that betting the short shot would actually make sense because it cashes so often.
Where you at with season outlook? No repeat talk. That was last year. We're on to this year. They're saying the right things. Everyone knows this. There hasn't been a repeat winner in the East in 21 years. I do like their win total under, just because they've had to go through so many injuries the last couple of years. And I think it's going to be tough to go over 11.5 with the schedule they have to face this season in a pretty good division. So
Sure.
I think they win the division, but they go under their win total.
Like, who's going to be the 1 seed in the NFC? Like, which team other than Philadelphia is going to get home field throughout the playoffs?
I think Tampa's sneaky at a good price.
And by the way, Tampa's had their number last couple of years.
Yeah.
Don't know what that means for this year, but I think that they might come out of the NFC, and I kind of said this yesterday, kind of by default, and that's not a shot at Philadelphia at all. In fact, it's a compliment, because when I say that, I mean, like, tell me the weakness of the team. Where is it with Philadelphia? They don't really have one that jumps off the page.
Well, it sounds like Sal thinks you can throw on them.
Yeah, but, I mean, those were all young dudes, too, last year.
Yeah.
So, like, the front seven is going to be amazing.
We lost a couple guys there.
Yeah, and if the offensive line can stay healthy, there's no reason to believe they're not going to be, like, elite running the football again this year.
I would say Hurts healthy.
Yeah, okay.
If something happened to Hurts.
That would be...
Or A.J. Brown.
I'll give you Hurts for sure. Because then if you look at every other team in the NFC, I think that you can probably check off at least one glaring weakness or multiple weaknesses on all those other contenders. Unless somehow the Lions do it again this year in the regular season with that difficult schedule, I think they have too many question marks.
Yep.
I'm with you on the Packers. They have too much hype at this point.
Yeah.
The McCarthy,
All right.
I mean, I'm in on the Vikings, but to come out of the NFC, I'm not going to go that far. Let's be honest here. 49ers, Rams, and the NFC West. A lot of questions there.
Yep.
And then I know you're high on Tampa, like you said, but they do have a couple of injuries here entering the season, you know?
They do. Octopus tonight, 15-1. Any team to score 40-plus points, plus 450. Each team to have a touchdown and a field goal, minus $2. Oh, that looks good.
Oh, boy.
Oh, model. Here we go with this again. Each team to have a 33-yard field goal, even money. Longest touchdown, 40.5 yards. Longest field goal, 49.5 yards. Aubrey is in the house.
Very interesting.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's a good one.
What's did you bet largest lead?
That is 16.5. Man, I guess I lean under with that one, but it's a big boy. You are correct on that one. 16.5. Good observation. I did bet shortest touchdown. Hello, Glenn and Quincy. Great to have a beer with him when he came out. 1.5 under minus 150. Total field goals 3.5 over plus money. Remember, that was going over nonstop last year early on, especially in the primetime games.
I'll give you Aubrey's longest field goal made by week last year. 57, 52, 65, 60, 55, and 50. All before the bye.
Uh-huh.
After the bye, 29. Okay. 57, 46, 53, 48, 33, 47, 52, 58. He didn't make one in week 17, and then a 41-yarder. Like, that's the thing.
I see Schottenheimer as being conservative, as in, I'm going to trust him and not go for it like 4th and 6.
Like,
I'll send my kicker out who's automatic from wherever.
So he's going to notice that Mike had no problem with it last year. Why?
Yeah.
Why try to, break it?
Yeah.
What was working? Doesn't make any sense. We will touch on tonight's Major League Baseball card coming up next. He's favored to win the first 5, but not the game.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Phil Hellmuth in studio coming up in 15 minutes. Can't wait for that conversation. As for tonight's Major League Baseball card, small schedule of games tonight, Pauly. There is one game going on right now. Phillies, Brewers, no scores. They play in the bottom of the 4th. Freddie Peralta is going today for Milwaukee. He has 8 Ks, but he's at 84 pitches. You figure he's going to come out for the 5th, and that's going to be about it.
Yeah.
He's going today, as is Paul Skeens. I'm wondering here, like, the thought of earlier in the year that the Pirates could shut down Paul Skeens if they were completely out of it entered my brain. That's why I thought Zach Wheeler, among other reasons why I thought Zach Wheeler was going to pull off the Cy Young. And he's obviously out because of blood clots. Wish him well with that recovery. Can Freddie Peralta get into the Cy Young mix, or is this thing completely over with? Skeens was like minus 2,000, I think I saw it the other day.
I think that's it, yeah.
Okay, so
First Pirate since Drabek to do it, 1990. I think he's going to get it done.
Boy, did I love Doug Drabek.
It's a hell of a team.
His stuff was nasty.
Yeah. But Killer Bees, he was good. So he's 7-0 at home. Or they're 7-0 in his starts at home going back. And he's 4-0 with the 0.41 ERA. So he's been awesome here. And Snell has been horrible in Pittsburgh. Bizarre. Interesting numbers. Just terrible numbers. God awful when Snell's in Pittsburgh. So I can't believe this. They're 41-30 at home. They're 22-47 on the road. I got to take the Pirates.
Yikes.
I got to do it.
Well, here's the deal. How do you want to take him? Because he's not favored in the game. By he, I mean Paul Skeens. In fact, here at Circa, before we jumped on the show an hour and 15 minutes ago, he was plus 105. Now he is minus 102, but the Dodgers still favored at minus 110. And you look across the screen, you can still find Skeens maybe at a little plus money at some books, but it looks like it's like minus 101, minus 102 at some spots. In the first 5, Skeens is minus 125, minus 130.
Yeah.
Would you split up both bets because you don't want to rely on the Pirates bullpen?
Well, the Dodgers bullpen's bad too. Mm-hmm. I mean, but I like the home record, and I think the guy can go 7 innings. I think he goes 7 strong tonight.
Poor Paul Skeens, only 9-9 on the year.
Yeah.
That's, again, perfect example here why record means nothing for starting pitchers. 2.05 ERA, 10 Ks per 9. Since the All-Star break, 8 starts, 5-1 with a 2.15 ERA and 11 Ks per 9. Snell's only made 7 starts on the year, by the way. ERA looks good, 2.4. FIP, a run higher than that. His Ks are down per 9 at 9.16, but he also walks the park. Always been a problem for him. Almost 4.5 walks per 9.
What do you make of this race now in the American League? The Wild. Tampa is 2.5 out now after sweeping the Mariners. They've won 6 in a row. Now they host Cleveland. I mean, they were out of this. But Kansas City's lost 7 of 11. Seattle's 3-14, last 17 on the road. It's open now. Tampa can do this. Can't believe it. No one wants it.
So are we going to get 4 teams in from the American League East?
Well, it would have been a good prop. That's in play.
Might be in play.
Yeah. Seattle's going to do this again for the third year in a row, I think it'd be.
Fall apart?
Yeah.
Final month?
Yeah. Can't win a damn game. Pitching's gone south.
Unreal.
It is unreal. It's sick. But they're $1.70 at home tonight against Logan Allen. What a turnaround for the Rays. Camaro's on fire. He was 8 of 13 in that series.
That kid's 21, I think.
Yeah. The real deal. And the Yankee bullpen again. Tough loss. Weaver blew the save. Of course, Williams gives up a run. All hell breaks loose. That game goes over. And Rodon trying to save the day, $1.40 in Houston against Javier.
Well, Rodon, since the All-Star break, he's made 8 starts, 5-1 overall, 3.43 ERA, the FIP 4.37, 8.5 Ks per 9. Again, this guy's been walking the park, more than 5 walks per 9. Javier has only made 4 starts on the year. He's pitched 16 innings, that's it, 3.38 ERA, FIP 2 runs higher than that. He also walks a ton of guys. He's been getting lucky here with the batting average of balls in play at 200. I kind of trust the Yankees to get revenge in this game tonight.
Okay.
I've liked them like every game of the series.
Yeah.
Last night was a loser on them, but...
Well, you get it, yeah. Be careful with the bullpen, though. I would say first 5 again. You know, they have the 3rd worst bullpen ERA since the break. Only behind Toronto and Minnesota. Actually, ahead of Toronto and Minnesota. And 11 blown saves. So they got to get this straightened out.
So let me give you this. I brought this up on the air yesterday. I could not find a price on the Giants to make the playoffs.
I thought it was 10-1.
They won again. Mm-hmm. They are 4 out in the National League wild card.
Did you see that? Boy, did the run line get hairy there. That was 10-5 in the bottom of the 9th. Then it's 10-8. There's a guy on.
Well, sure. I mean, Ray was cruising along with a big lead. Then he gave that up, and the Giants came back. But they scored 25 runs in that series. It's at Coors, so don't freak out. But day off today for the Giants. 3 at St. Louis. Then they come back. They get 3 versus Arizona at home, 3 against the Dodgers, 3 at Arizona, then 4 at the Dodgers. But they play Colorado again. They have St. Louis for 6, the Diamondbacks for a bunch of games. If they can somehow split with the Dodgers, or maybe even go, well, they can't split because it's 7 games, but if they could go 4-3 and pull a minor miracle out with those games, I think we're going to have a live ticket here again for most wins in September. And then it would be, if they would be in the mix for most wins in September, I'm telling you, there's a chance they can make the playoffs.
Yeah. Now the Mets are bringing up another kid. It's the 3rd guy they're bringing up from the minors to pitch in big games, and they have that huge series tomorrow. I think it's against Cincinnati.
I think the National League playoffs are going to be the nuts this year.
Yeah.
I don't want to see. I would not want to face the Mets. Not with the way that Soto's been going. What Alonso can do.
Though. Yeah.
But I mean, I would agree with that. But how many teams overall? We're supposed to trust the Mariners pitching. They might miss the playoffs.
Right.
Same thing with the Padres.
Yeah.
I got to find. You said you saw 10-1 on the Giants.
Yes.
All right.
Is there 5 back? You have
4.
Oh, it's 4
out of the wild card. Yeah.
Oh, that's Cincinnati. So they passed Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, they go to St. Louis tomorrow, and I think it's Verlander in one of those games too. And then you're right about the schedule.
So what team would miss then? Because the Mets are the last wild card team right now.
It'd be the Mets.
They have a very difficult schedule.
That's right.
I want to make the case for San Diego to miss, but if the Padres miss the playoffs, then they need to reboot the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because their schedule is actually, I think, easier than the Giants. They have Colorado coming up. They got Colorado for 6 more games coming up. They got 7 more games. They got the Reds, the White Sox, Arizona again. It is trouble in paradise if San Diego misses.
Oh, that's embarrassing. You got to take out Colorado here with the next 7. You're exactly right.
Yep.
Let me give you something here, and we've established that every ticket cash is the same. There's a game in the WNBA tonight, and I know Winky Duck and some other people sent this in. The Las Vegas Aces have won 12 games in a row. They opened the favorite. They are now 2.5-point dogs against Minnesota. 12 wins in a row. The last loss, the worst loss at home in WNBA history, to the Lynx. I think they get revenge tonight, and I don't want to go against a team that's lost 12 in a row. And Wilson is unbelievable. Her stat line and her game log, what she's doing. I think I can't believe the line move unless you keep players out. But it's a funny spot and a funny line where, hey, they've won 12 in a row. They're home dogs. But the last meeting was 111-58 in that game. But you'd look up, it's like 30-10 every game for this girl.
Sure.
And to go from 100-1 to as low as 2-1 to win the MVP in a span of 2 weeks.
I have updated numbers right now. Collier at the Westgate here in Las Vegas now pushed back to a $9 favorite.
Is it okay?
And Wilson 6-1. Alyssa Thomas 80-1. Have you noticed the year that she's put together?
Triple-double gal.
Pretty much every single game.
Yeah.
But 80-1, not going to be able to pull it off the way it looks.
Okay. Yep.
There was a winner last night with a dream, by the way.
That's right. That was Scott there.
Unfortunately, at the end of the show, we found out that Gray was out. So the line crashed, and I'm like, well, if you still want to bet it, you can bet it. And they had no problem. I think they covered everything, first quarter, first half, and for the game.
Did you take any Pagula?
So I was trying to do the math last night on a parlay calculator. I think it's better to take her plus 850 or 9-1 than a rollover parlay now.
Isn't she favored in the final if she beats Sabalenka today?
Look at Osaka's power rating throughout this tournament.
She's been great.
So, and she's what today? $1 next
come
match?
Down, $1.20.
Then, yeah. I think if you can find specifically like 9-1 on Pagula, that's better than a rollover parlay.
Yeah, that's out there.
Now, she just got smashed by Sabalenka, but keep in mind, Anisimova, who beat Swiatek yesterday, she lost in straight sets, was blanked last month.
And then tomorrow, which I know you don't want to go against the NFL game, but the Joker-Alcaraz match is at noon Pacific. Sinners at night. And he's a huge favorite.
Yeah, but they go against the NFL every year with the men's finale on Sundays.
I cannot believe Joker-Alcaraz is not in prime time. If you know sports, it's time to start getting paid for it. Better Picks is the daily fantasy sports app where your sports knowledge turns into real cash fast. Download the Better app, pick more or less on your favorite player's stats, and watch the action unfold. And if your pick hits, you win. They have a new user special offer. Get $10 for free, no deposit necessary, and you get up to $200 in deposit bonuses as well. They're also giving you away $40 for every friend you get to Better Picks. Head over to better.app, BETR, or download Better from the app or Google Play Store. Promo code VEASAN. Go get it. Promo code VEASAN. The legend, Phil Hellmuth in studio next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
We've been looking forward to this. It's going to be a blast as we welcome in maybe the best poker player of all time. He has the most World Series of Poker bracelets ever at 17. He's also one of the hosts of the Fade Us podcast, now under the VSiN network of podcasts, and you can find it wherever you listen to your podcast. Phil Hellmuth in studio today. Great to meet you. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, guys. Here we go. I sat here last night for the Fade Us sports podcast. Now, I put Mike the Mouth on the far left in the Barkley seat. So I was kind of four of us on the panel, so.
He was, obviously, he talks a lot of trash. And he was doing that on the show that follows us about you last night, right?
Yeah.
Because he's like, Phil only likes to bet favorites in the NFL. He's got like 10 already for week one.
He was trying to nickname me Square Peg Phil, which is kind of fun, like, whatever. It's not going to catch on, but it's kind of fun. And I told him to egg him on. We have this contest on Splash Sports where we enter 10 picks against the spread per week. Fun contest. And so it turns out that I chose 10 favorites. So I called him before to tell him that, just to give him a little more fuel.
Okay, there you go.
My second 10 was not all favorites, but yeah.
Okay, very good. So have you gotten into the big boy here at Circa yet? Grandissimo $100,000 buy-in.
No, we have a $50,000 buy-in at Splash Sports. The problem is that the guys are like, no, he's too sharp. No, he's too sharp. No, he's too... It's like they're a little picky on who plays. I call it my billionaire group. A lot of like famous billionaires in that group that are in the... And so they're like, they don't want sharp money, but they'll also play high-stakes poker with me for 10 years, and I've done pretty well. So.
Yeah, right.
So I'm like, come on, guys, what are you doing here? We could have... But I think kind of the comfort of like, last year, Antonio Esfandiari, a famous poker player, won it. And the great story behind that is this could never have happened in another league. He entered his picks like 3 minutes late. Every other league, you're just out. So we're like, yeah, of course we love Antonio. Yeah, of course. You can just tell us who you're going to pick, and it was all good. And we had 2 or 3 people that weren't part of our group that then felt that was unfair and left the league. And we're like, all right, good riddance. How could you leave this league? You get to play with us every year, a bunch of billionaires. And, and then I could never have dreamed that Antonio would then come and win the thing. But I love you, Antonio Esfandiari. Nice job. But that's the nice part about playing with friends.
How often does that happen? And I imagine that's why you have a ton of money, especially when you go back to the moneymaker days, that it's, hey, I can sit down and play with Phil Hellmuth. I don't care if he takes my money over and over and over again, but it's just cool to sit there with Ivy or Hellmuth or Negreanu.
That's the kind of thing that I thought would happen in the 1980s and 90s, and I'd tell Huck Seed, who's now in the Poker Hall of Fame, like, Huck, everybody's going to want to play with us. We're going to do so well. And then it turns out that this group just became my best friends. And it's really fun to be, my friend Chamath Palihapitiya, he's my best friend. And, he, for years he'd say, I'm not your best friend. And then he had to go on his podcast and admit that I was his best friend. But he put together a great group of like some of the world's most successful people, We'll go to Italy with a guy that has a car company and a rocket company. We'll do all these crazy, and so it's just being in that group has led to, now I advise 32 companies. Just those guys I've learned so much listening from them. And then the fact that they're my friends and I can reach out to them that helps me, when advisors come to me, I can say, oh, well, I can put you in touch with so-and-so. And so, yeah, it's been, so to me, it's all about the group. And, we were all in England at the beginning of August playing high stakes poker. And yeah, I've won a lot in the game, but that's the money you win or lose has become secondary to finding a group of friends that can abide, that can put up with me, that know that I'm authentic, that know that I'm honest, and that's kind of what you hope for in life. We all want to have a group of friends that, that loves us.
Very good. Well said. How many bracelets can you win? What do you
24.
think? You really?
Yeah. I'm at 17, side of my hat.
Yep.
Yeah, there it is.
And I kind of had, I don't know, I'd called a vision. You guys might laugh me out of the studio. 1993, I won 3 bracelets. And I said, all right, I'm going to win 24. And I'm like, where does this number come from? Is it some sort of vision? Do you feel like, you know what I mean? And from that moment, I kind of went public. I'm going to win 24 bracelets. And so I'm at 17 now. I'm a lot older than you guys think I am. So, hopefully I can compete for another 20 years. We've been known to have poker players be great until their late 70s.
Sure.
So there's still time. I still see the game as good as anybody. They don't always recognize that. That's interesting, right? But the greatest of the great know how great I am, and vice versa in poker. So you just kind of, I know I sound cocky, but a lot of people are against me, and I think I have a lot of deep runs again this year. And the articles afterwards, oh, Phil's still killing it. I didn't feel that way though. I mean, I had 1 third place finish, but listen, I was, one hand away from, 3 bracelets.
Oh, so having said all that, maybe the best of all time, an unbelievable network of friends who are extremely sharp,
Jesus
obviously.
Christ, all I do is brag. What the heck is going on here?
So then, but hold on now. Why is the podcast called Fade Us Sports?
Yeah, Fade Us Sports. So the one thing I've done well my entire life is NFL totals. 11 years ago, Peyton Manning went to the Broncos. And the number was, I think it was 8 plus $1.50, something ridiculous. And I'm like, wait, this makes no sense. Yes, I see that he has a, torn neck or whatever, but he's going to be back. He wouldn't have gone and signed with Denver if he didn't think he'd be back. So to me, that was super easy money. I bet like $5,000 or $10,000 on it. It hit easily. For a little, I was a little bit worried there after 3-4 games, but it hit easily. They won like a lot of games that year. And then I'm like, oh, I like this NFL. So every year I look at this list and something stands out. Something stands out. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense to me. And so I've learned about more and more. So this year I looked at the list and my first thought is Detroit 10? Of course they're going to win more than 10. And what gives me the confidence is Campbell, the coach. Right? And I'm like, this Campbell is just like, I love his fire. Like, I don't think he's going to let them. But then Mike the Mouse is like, well, they lost both coordinators, and which is a good counterpoint. And they're playing against Green Bay and Minnesota. But I just think 10 is so obtainable that I bet $25,000 on that. And then the other one that didn't make sense to me was Pittsburgh. And Mike the Mouth helped me with this a little bit. We looked up the stats on how Rodgers had done the last 10 games of the year. And he was probably a top 6 quarterback the last 10 games of the year. So, and Tomlin's never had a losing season. So here's a guy that's never had a losing season, right? And then you bring in Aaron Rodgers, who finished off, the last 10 games well. And I'm just thinking, wow, this 8.5 is a great bet. So I bet $15,000 on Pittsburgh to win over 8.5 games. Love that. I just hope Rodgers doesn't get injured. But even if he does, Tomlin has never had a losing record. He's never won less games than 9.
So then I would assume that you like them week 1, laying 2.5 against the Jets.
Love them, and that was my NFL pick of the week. Now, okay, all right, folks at home, if you're listening to me now, I've not done well picking against the spread. Okay, I can brag that I'm good at one thing, NFL totals, and I bet enough to cover my whole year of maybe not doing so well. But yeah, I love Pittsburgh. I think they're going to surprise everybody. I think they're going to score 30 points. That defense is unbelievable. J.J. Watt. I mean, you look at Mr. Watt and just the brother, and just the way the defense is played, the way Tomlin coaches them. I can't imagine the Jets scoring more than 10 points. So I think it's going to be a blowout. So that's my number 1 pick.
Okay. And then, are you involved in the game tonight? Philadelphia Cowboys, Survivor, ATS.
As a matter of fact, yeah, they posted my picks right there. I don't know if you guys are seeing the screen, but
there it is. Yes.
Yeah. So my second pick was the Eagles versus Cowboys. I was able to get down at 7, and my max bet is $2,000. So I max bet it, but I mean, Mike Mattisau and Brandon Cantu have me convinced maybe I'm on the wrong side of this. But I just think that Philadelphia, they're going to be super excited. They're going to score a lot of points. But we know that Dak Prescott is just, he just puts points up, right? We know that Dallas is going to score. I just wonder if Dallas's defense will be able to stop Philly. And so, yeah, I'm thinking that, I like this bet, but I love the Pittsburgh bet.
That's Phil Hellmuth, 17 World Series of Poker bracelets, and the new podcast here under VSiN, the umbrella here. He does it with Mike Mattisau, Brandon Cantu, and David Woodley. It's called Fade Us Sports. A lot of trash talking amongst the 4.
I mean, so we're in the booth right now, right? And you guys know this booth. You're here all the time. Well, right behind us, the other direction, is a bunch of people that are the amazing producers that do all the work here at VSiN, including Brian Musburger, who invented VSiN out of thin air, sold it to DraftKings, bought it back, and, he's just killing it. And those guys and my agent, they were in the booth, and they just busted out laughing 7 times, out of control. They came out and they said, don't change a thing. We can't stop laughing. We're forgetting to press buttons. And so it's just the trash talk of people that have known each other and given each other trash talking for 25 years. That's what I didn't like about a lot of the sports shows. And also we called coaches idiots, stupid, players idiots, stupid. And we realized that no one else talks honestly like us.
It's going to be a great podcast again called Fade Us Sports. Thanks, Phil. We appreciate that.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
There you go. 10 strong minutes. Phil Hellmuth, Fade Us Sports podcast. If you miss his appearance, you can always go back and listen to the Follow the Money podcast wherever you get it. But Fade Us is going to be here at VSiN as well moving forward. And it'll be a great listen because there's no doubt what he said at the very end. They've known each other for a long, long time on the show. And they are going to bust chops with the best of them. And the trash talking is going to be nuts.
Mattisau is wild as well and bets on anything and used to really get after it in the NFL. And he's got a great book. What, Check Raising the Devil?
Yeah. Well,
he was that's the title of it, but he's lived quite the life as well, and putting 6 figures down on an NFL game back in the day.
Well, I heard he was in studio last night with primetime Matt Brown and Samich. They had him on, And Mattisau was talking about, he openly admitted it. He goes, I'm total degenerate. And he explained, like, never once in my life have I been on tilt playing poker. I'm always on tilt betting sports. And so he would like lose a massive bet on a Sunday afternoon game that came down to the wire. It would not go his way.
Yeah.
So then he would just automatically force bet the Sunday night game, and for as much as whatever, maybe double what he lost earlier on.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't even like the game, he just wanted to have action because he lost and wanted to get his money back.
Yeah.
And then I will say, like, he was like quite proud of this, and you should be like learning money management with that. He goes, since then I told myself that I would never make a bet. I think it was either more than $2,000 or $3,000 on a game, and he hasn't. He said. But then he also said that Grandissimo here is going to get to 100 people, and he would make it a heavy favorite.
Wow.
Yeah.
Come on.
So
We're at 58? 58 now.
Yeah, 58.
Things to go up. He had a reason for it, too. Poker players could come in late. They better come in now. All right, season-long props. It's here, baby. Will Hill and other places. Send in your most creative prop, by the way. What's the most unique or creative prop you've seen on the season? Longest reception, 93.5 yards, over minus 130. Someone, a 94-yard catch? Reception?
I bet it happens more often than you think.
You think so? I remember Gabe Davis.
That was only a couple years ago.
That's right.
First game of the year.
Backed up 98 yards, whatever it was, 96 yards.
I know Cooks did it week 1 for the Saints. I think that was against the Raiders.
I don't remember that one.
I think he was like 98 yards.
Okay. Rush is 90.5 yards.
See, that one I would go under on.
Yes. Boy, that's tough. Got to pull a Dorsett almost.
Pretty much.
That is tough. Longest field goal. 62.5 yards, steamed up to over $3.
Well, and again, shop around because I saw 64.5 at one book.
Yeah, okay, good. Because you also saw what happened in the preseason.
So how would you want to bet that? Would you almost, man, now
I
at
can't
$3?
go under with that. These guys are sick.
Would you play?
No problem from 65 now.
Yeah, would you play over 64.5 at like minus 110?
Probably have to, yeah, probably better.
I probably don't want to lay
Yeah,
at $3 on a season-long field goal prop.
Aubrey's hit from 65, 60, 58, 57.
Well, and then again, you saw, not that this is going to happen in the regular season, but you saw the kid from Jacksonville again with a 70-yarder in the preseason.
That's right. Most passing yards in a game, 515 yards. Pork.
Again, that just feels like an automatic underplay.
Yes. Most touchdowns, 41.5 yards. Well, a quarterback throw for
Oh, hold on. Say that again. What was that? You said 40.
passing touchdowns, 41.5.
Oh, 41.5. Okay.
I say, yep. Most in a game, 5.5, under minus 275.
Oh, boy.
You can bet every week will someone throw 5 touchdown passes. That is, that's 3-1 in week 1 at DraftKings. Most rushing yards in a game, 220.5. Most receiving yards in a game, 230.5.
That's a big number.
I played under on that. 231?
Oh, man, that is a healthy number.
That's a big one. Most receptions in a game, 15.5. Under 220 only. I know McBride and some of these guys were going off last year, but that 16 catches? I remember the TO game in like week 16 a long time ago against the Bears. That's wild. Good odds, no. Good numbers.
Wow, so they had to open that up at minus 110 is my guess, right? And then they just took money on the under the entire time.
Yeah. Most interceptions in a game, 4.5, under minus 280. Season 17.5.
Can you parlay this
Going
stuff?
over. I hope so. I don't know though. I hope you can. Overtime games, 15.5.
Well, how many overtime games do we get on average? Do you have any idea about that?
I do not. I didn't look at that. And then I think, will there be a tie? Yes, over minus 220. Will we have one tie? I saw that at a couple spots. One of them was Will Hill, I believe. And I mentioned earlier, Caesars put up a 70-yard field goal, open 20-1, down to 10.
I got some data here on the overtime games. Take a guess at the most overtime games in a single regular season. What that number was? The year was 2002. Guess how many? Yeah, that was the year we set the record. Guess how many games went to overtime?
18.
25.
Wow.
But last year, 16.
Well, okay, good.
2023 had 20, 14 the year before that, 17 the year before that.
Seems high.
How big was the number?
Yeah, it's 17 and 15 and a half. No, 15 and a half. Yes.
For overtime games.
Yeah.
It clears
seems like a lot.
It does, but it clears that number.
Wow.
Often the way it looks.
Okay. Will someone score 50 points in a game this week? 5-1. No overtime.
Didn't the Ravens do that against the Dolphins?
Uh-huh.
With Lamar Jackson's breakout MVP year?
Yep. No overtime is 2-1.
Come on, what do you got there? That
No
feels
overtime.
like no shutout tonight in Major League
That's
Baseball.
right. Absolutely. A non-quarterback to throw a touchdown this week, plus 280. Fat man touchdown, plus 650. Shutout, 3-1. That should be higher.
Would you look at non-quarterback or the fat man touchdown?
I don't like that in week 1. I don't know.
I don't
think you're bringing out all the stops and coming out with the creativity and something like that.
Yeah, you're not going into the bag of tricks in week 1.
But if it does, it's probably Kansas City tomorrow. First play of the game. Will there be a sack? 4-1. Turnover plus 450. Touchdown 18-1.
That's only tomorrow night?
That's the whole week. That's the whole week. Will any of that happen on the first play of the game?
Oh.
That the whole week. I mean, that is to cash that 18-1. I mean, that's just someone's backed up, go throw, sacked.
Oh yeah, hold on.
Pick, and then you got to cash in, then, or you got to be a defensive touchdown, a scoop and score.
Is this DraftKings?
Yeah.
So that would be: will any game, will the first play of any game in week 1 result in a sack? And
yes.
You get 4-1 on that.
Yes. Turnover plus 450.
Interesting.
Yep.
No, you know what? I would probably take the no on that because you would think, right? They've had all season to think about what they're going to do here and design these plays.
You're also probably starting off with a run, too.
A lot of them, yeah.
Will every team kick a field goal in the 8 early games? 15-1.
Wasn't that 200-1 like a year ago or 2 years ago?
Because it cashed.
And now it's never going to be that high
Did you
again.
have that, Luke? I thought you had that. Remember that? You cashed that ticket. Every team to kick a field goal. It is 80-1 in every game. Passing touchdown early games, 20-1. Combined with the late games, 60. All games, 80. Rushing early is 200-1. A touchdown and field goal in the early and late games is 120-1. Every team to score a touchdown Sunday, 5-1. Good stuff. Send in your most creative or unique props you've seen from a future standpoint on the season. FTM@vsin.com or tweet at us as well. FTM@vsin.com. What do you like as well? I'm with Mitch. Under 90.5. Even under 93.5 with the longest reception. I'm with you. I also wish you could parlay some of this stuff too. 5.5 touchdowns and picks as well. If you know sports, time to get started and paid for it. Better Picks is a daily fantasy sports app where your sports knowledge turns into real cash fast. Download the Better app, pick more or less on your favorite player stats. Watch the action unfold, and if your pick hits, you win. Right now, they have a kickoff new user offer. Sign up today, get $10 free, no deposit necessary. And when you do deposit, you get up to $200 in deposit bonuses. NBA, MLB, soccer, UFC, golf, and more. Always time to have some fun and turn your sports knowledge into cash. And Better is giving you $40 for every friend you try to get Better Picks to. Head over to better.app, BETR, or download Better from the app or Google Play Store. Promo code VSiN for your $10 and deposit bonus today. $200, go get those bonuses, BETR.
We had a 98-yard reception in the NFL last year.
We did.
That Nikolai Westbrook for Miami. 2022 was the year Gabe Davis, that. 98.
Okay.
We had a 91-yarder in 2021, a 92-yarder by Jerry Jeudy in 2020.
Come on.
A 93-yarder in 2019. Up next, bold opinions in the NFL with Do You Concur? This team will be on the uptick and a squad you're going to want to bet on this season.